History of my oldest ancestors of whom I am very proud descend. November 25th, 1034. Dies, murdered by his relatives, at Glamis Castle, in Angus, Malcolm II, King of Scotland, my 34th, 35th and 37th grandfather of Macbeth, King of Scotland, immortalized in the literary work of William Shakespeare. Malcolm II, King of Scotland, was the 8th grandfather of Dom Afonso III, King of Portugal. Malcolm II, King of Scotland, born in 954 and died at Angus, Glamis Castle, on the 25th of November, 1034, murdered, was the son of Kenneth II, King of Scotland, and unknown lady, Princess of Leinster, paternal grandson of Malcolm I, King of Scotland. Malcolm II died on November 25, 1034, murdered by his relatives, at Glamis Castle, in Angus. He was King of Scotland from March 25, 1005 until his death. He was the son of Kenneth II, and tradition relates that the mother was a Leinster noblewoman. Malcolm II was crowned king, at Scone, like his predecessors. He vied for the throne with his cousin Kenneth III, who he killed in 1005. He recovered the territories of Lothian, historic region of Scotland, located in the southeast of the country, between the rivers Tweed and Forth, in 1018. His victory at the Battle of Carham led Lothian to join the Kingdom of Scotland, everything being established by the Treaty of Carham in 1015. At a time when the English were fighting the Vikings, Malcolm II made several incursions, obtaining territories in the north of England. He also made alliances with the Vikings, agreeing to the marriage of his daughter, Donaida of Scotland, to Sigurd II the Fat, Earl of Orkney and Caithness, thus increasing his influence to the north and also making an alliance with Strathclyde in the west. Malcolm II fought tirelessly to expand his kingdom, conquering lands along the River Tweed and in Strathclyde, eventually causing dissension that would result in his assassination. Malcolm II was the last of the kings of the House of Alpin. He had only daughters and was succeeded by his grandson, Duncan I, my 32nd, 33rd and 35th grandfather, and with him the House of Dunkeld was inaugurated. This royal lineage system for succession was matrilineal, whereas the Scottish system was determined by what in English is called tanistry, succession by a previously elected member of the royal family. During the king's lifetime, a successor was chosen, a system called tenaste rig. This way of governing remained until Malcolm II decided to adopt the system of direct descent. After his death, succession was always based on direct descent. Malcolm II would have been around 80 years old when he was murdered on November 25, 1034, and is buried on the island of Iona. Malcolm II, Macbeth and Shakespeare. Malcolm II took the throne in 1005 after defeating and killing Kenneth III, his cousin, at the Battle of Monzeverd, near Crieff. After taking office as king, Malcolm began eliminating potential claimants to the throne to give his own descendants a better chance of succession after his death. The scant available records suggest that Malcolm was the father of 3 daughters. Although they had married into powerful families, other rivals would have had more direct claims to the throne. Malcolm attempted to tilt the odds in his family's favor by removing the opposition. Among the notable casualties is the grandson of Kenneth III. After Malcolm's death at Glamis on the 25th of November, 1034, his grandson took the throne to become Duncan I, King of Scotland. Malcolm's murderous scheme to remove rival claimants to the throne appeared to have been successful, as Duncan's succession was not challenged. After ruling for just 5 years, Duncan was killed in battle at Pitgavany, near Elgin, by Macbeth. Centuries later, that episode in Scottish history would inspire one William Shakespeare to write a play loosely based on the events. Powerful Lord of Mormaer of Murray, Macbeth of Murray, grandson of Malcolm II, strategically married a granddaughter of Kenneth III and thus secured for himself a strong claim to the throne. Furthermore, documentary sources state that Macbeth of Murray was directly linked, through his mother's lineage, Donaida, Princess of Scotland, with King Malcolm II, Donada's father. Macbeth's ambitions were realized and he took the throne in the same way as Malcolm II, through massacre. Despite all his efforts to remove rival suitors, it appears that Malcolm II has lost a rather important one. Macbeth himself was later defeated and killed in battle at Lumphanan by the son of Duncan I, my 32nd, 33rd and 35th grandfather, Macbeth's cousin, Malcolm, who later succeeded to the throne as Malcolm III, my 31st, 32nd and 34th grandfather. Malcolm II was successful in defending and expanding his kingdom's rule during his lifetime. Family and descent. Malcolm II married an Irish woman from Ossory, whose name is unknown and whose name he had. Bedhock of Scotland, married to Crinan, Lord of Atholl, my 33rd, 34th and 36th grandparents, parents of Duncan I, my 32nd, 33rd and 35th grandfather, successor to her grandfather Malcolm II. Donor of Scotland, my 33rd grandmother, 5 times my grandmother, married to Sigurd II the Stout, Earl of Orkney, and then married to Findleach of Murray, my 33rd grandfather, 5 times my grandfather. Anleta Olaf from Scotland,